You know, in all my time writing for screen, I'm not sure that I've had a less pleasant 2 hours than when I was forced to sit in a theater and watch Grown Ups. It is a loathsome film, apparently created as an excuse for Adam Sandler and his friends to spend $80 million on a family vacation.
And we're all looking at the same time. Let's at least take shifts.
All right. Yeah, good idea.
Off. You and me look at the tree.
Mackenzie, we're going to look at her butt for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good plan.
Being horrible, it of course made $250 million at the worldwide box office, a fact that sometimes causes me to wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats.
So what's with that labradoodle? It sounds like Stephen Hawking or something.
Because I'm sure that my 0-star review caused at least a few of you to skip out on seeing the film, I figured I'd make it up to you by showing you precisely why this movie is terrible.
I am the biggest agent in Hollywood and you just pissed me off!
The film begins with classic Sandler, as he mixes a desire to make us hate everything about his film with an almost toxic sentimentality.
That's right, you better back down.
We're quickly introduced to his children, including 2 video game-addled, spoiled asshole sons who berate their nanny for making them hot chocolate that isn't Godiva.
This isn't Godiva. What are you trying to poison me?
His younger daughter starts the film off by picking up the phone, hearing that one of Sandler's old friends has died and gone to heaven, and then attempting to drive his car so that she can use its GPS to find heaven and tell her dad precisely where his friend
I
is.
was trying to use the Navy. You mean the navigation system, idiot.
It's so noxiously cute that I'm pretty sure Sandler lifted it from one of those fake stories people send into Reader's Digest in the hopes of getting $75.
Yikes.
We cut directly from that morbid piece of schmaltz back to, guess what? A fat guy doing something stupid. Every problem you could possibly imagine a movie could have starts popping up here. From David Spade somehow being cast as a womanizing playboy, to wonderfully casual racism with a sassy black grandmother and Salma Hayek being referred to as
What a spicy quesadilla you got yourself, Lenny.
Oh,
the death that brings the crew back together is the demise of their old high school basketball coach, who probably passed away from stress after decades of coaching a team with only 5 players on it. No subs, no rests, no injuries. A high wire act for sure. The 5 main characters are all delightfully unconcerned with the fact that a man they once respected has passed on, and spend most of their funeral throwing unfunny zingers at each other.
Cue.
Hey. With Sandler actually taking the time to slip a finger into another man's asshole. It's a funeral, so of course it's also the perfect time for a stand-up routine on Sandler's part.
Believe it or not, Robbie and Marcus were actually shorter back in 1978.
20 minutes into the film and we already hate every member of the cast with a passion. Even normally likable actors like Maya Rudolph come across as grating and annoying.
We should get a dog.
We should get a water buffalo.
To its credit, the film does portray children as almost universally hateful, even getting beyond Sandler's kids.
Could you use a fork, please?
No! 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 No!
What's perhaps worse is that the film is essentially plotless. There's no real point to any of the proceedings, which sees the 5 families all live together for a weekend in a lake house. Ostensibly, there's some loose plot about how the unsuccessful guys who never managed to leave town hate our heroes and want to play them in one last basketball game, but it never leads to much.
You made me spill my freaking beer!
Instead, we're forced to sit through 100 minutes of shitty one-liners and grandma bunions, rather than deal with actual humor or character building.
I didn't know the Elephant Man lived in your shoe.
Now, there's no reason that the idea of watching a group of actors hang out for a weekend ought to be unpleasant, except for the fact that we have to deal with this specific group of actors. Individually, these people are all distinctly dislikable. Throwing the 5 of them together into a single film is like making a Voltron of pain and hatred that would fit smoothly into the end of the Book of Revelation. And I haven't even started talking about anything past the first half hour of the film either. Rest assured that it all goes downhill from there. There's a funny haha joke about how Salma Hayek apparently managed to pee right through her dress somehow. David Spade falls headfirst into a pile of shit. An old man shows off his ass crack. David Spade possibly fucks a dog.
Oh,
Kentucky Fried Chicken gets product placement at a scattering of ashes. And Steve Buscemi inexplicably agrees to be a man who cops a feel on a pregnant woman because he has a full body cast.
That's not my baby, that's my boob.
And of course, there's a dog who farts. This movie is a depressing, dispirited stream of awful, lowest common denominator humor. But on the bright side, it's an amazing litmus test to put in front of people that you are considering being friends with. If they laugh at it, you know what you need to do. So the movie's bad, but underneath it all is this kind of offensive notion that only families that are into down-home country living can ever really be happy. Sandler's character is inexplicably embarrassed and ashamed of his own success, and the other characters in the film take delight in calling him Hollywood because he's a superstar celebrity agent and mocking the fact that his wife is a fashion designer and that his children have a nanny. The irony is that Sandler probably has all of these things in his real life, and I'm pretty sure he's not ashamed of any of it.
Can somebody answer the phone?
Instead, his script, co-written with Fred Wolf, indulges in facile populism for the sake of squeezing a little bit more money from the plotting simpletons who like to see women squirt breast milk at each other.
You're wasting it!
I hate this movie with the burning passion of a million supernovas, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you continue to not allow it into your life. It is a horrible concoction of shit humor and insultingly lazy writing.
Baby got front.
It was, of course, successful enough to generate a sequel which will be arriving next summer, but luckily we won't have to watch it because Snooki's pregnancy, of course, heralds the end of the world. Or so I fondly hope, rather than live on a planet where 2 grown-ups movies have been released.
All right, everybody.
What are you doing?
Last one to stay away.
Of course, there are plenty more bad movies that exist in the world, and hopefully we'll have time to talk about some of them next time here on Screen.com.